Hello, this is Rabbi Michael Weiner with Rabbi's Reflections for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. Shalom. Psalm 47, verse 10, part 9. The princes of the peoples are gathered as a people of the God of Abraham. For the shields of earth belong to God. He is greatly exalted. Verse 10 marks the end of Psalm 47. Follow me here, but give me a minute to bring it back to Psalm 47. God made a covenant with Adam and Eve. You can read about that in Genesis chapter 3. God then clarified the covenant with Noah. You can read about that in Genesis 6, verse 18 and following. Next, God made covenant promises with Abraham, beginning in Genesis 12 and following. The covenant is reinforced through the generations of Abraham's second son, Isaac, and Isaac's second son, Jacob. That Abrahamic covenant is further clarified through Moses, see Exodus 3 and following, and the giving of the Torah. Then God identifies himself to Moses according to the first three generations of Hebrews, Exodus 3, verse 6. Moreover, he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. Notice the covenant is made exclusively with Hebrews, while the rest of the world is excluded. That is, until the last two parts of the covenant, Yeshua's first coming and Yeshua's promised second coming. The covenant is perfected through the sacrifice and resurrection of Yeshua HaMashiach and is offered to the whole world. Finally, in Psalm 47, along with many other places in Scripture, God expands his covenant to include the whole earth. The point to make here is that the rest of the world has struggled over Israel's inclusion from the beginning. And why? Read this. Pay particular attention to the but now. Ephesians 2, 12 and 13. At that time you were separate from Messiah, excluded from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers to the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. But now, in Messiah Yeshua, you who once were far off have been brought near by the blood of the Messiah. That whole chapter of Ephesians 2 solves the identity issue. Who does God love more? Jews or non-Jews? The answer is he doesn't have to choose. His love is abundant and big enough to include everyone. The, quote, princes of the peoples, close quote, are a congregation like the people of Abraham. That's inclusion, and no one is excluded. Romans 2, verse 10, but there will be glory, honor, and shalom to everyone who does good, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek, for there is no partiality with God. That's the message of Psalm 47. Great is our God. He is Lord of the whole earth. Shalom, shalom.